Good morning. Watching the news today, or actually the sports, which there is no sports right now, but thinking about college football. You know, we may not have a college football season this year. I wonder what that would be like if that happens. All these schools, colleges, have game day traditions. Last year, Kitty and I went to Clemson University. I have a cousin that's an alumni there, and we went there and got to look at and take part in a lot of the game day traditions that were there. And several years ago, a group of us from UNA went to West Point, and a year before that, we went to Annapolis to watch the Naval Academy play Vanderbilt, and got to the stands early and got to watch the midshipmen march down the road and into the stadium. And it was really impressive, a real impressive tradition. Almost all of us have traditions. One thing I think about is the way we have our Christmas meal every year. It's almost the same. It's a tradition. We understand traditions. We understand rituals. We understand habits. There's nothing wrong with them. But when we start binding those traditions and habits and rituals in our religion, it is wrong. I want to read this morning from Galatians chapter 5. In the 5th chapter of Galatians, Paul is talking about problems with Judaizers coming in and trying to get the Gentile Christians to adhere to the law, to be circumcised. And Paul's trying to tell them that they're free from the law. I'm going to read that to you, some verses from that this morning, beginning in verse 1. Paul writes, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by the yoke of slavery. Mark my words, I, Paul, tell you that if you let yourself be circumcised, Christ will be of no value to you at all. Again, I declare to every man who lets himself be circumcised that he is obligated to obey the whole law. You who are trying to be justified by the law have been alienated from Christ. You have fallen away from grace. But by faith we eagerly await through the Spirit the righteousness for which we hope." Now listen to this. "For in Christ Jesus neither circumcision or uncircumcision has any value. The only thing that counts is faith expressing itself in love." I'm going to drop down to verse 13. "You, my brothers, were called to be free. But do not use your freedom to indulge the sinful nature. Rather, serve one another in love. The entire law is summed up in a single command. Love your neighbor as yourself." Be safe. Stay well out there.